Alright everyone, this is Dylan Luss with the National Weather Service here in Peachtree City, Atlanta, and this will be your weekly weather briefing for Thursday, May 6th, 2021. So a couple of highlights for today. First and foremost, we have 5 tornadoes that we've been able to confirm from May 3rd. We've already conducted those surveys. We have ratings on all those tornadoes. I'll show you that in just a second. We have some additional surveys that we'll be conducting today for some possible tornadoes that also occurred the next day on May 4th up in northeast Georgia. Otherwise, getting into the forecast, we've got some rain and thunder that will be possible in sections of far northwest Georgia and far north Georgia this evening, especially into tonight. Basically, we've got a line of thunderstorms that should be weakening as they move into our area from, say, Tennessee to North Alabama. We'll go over that a little bit more in just a second. Showers will be possible across far north Georgia on Saturday, though we're not really expecting much in the way of accumulation in terms of rainfall for this. These are expected to be very light and pretty spotty. And otherwise, unfortunately, rain and unsettled weather is going to return next week into the area. Right now, our highest chances of rain are Sunday night into Monday as another system moves by, but kind of similar to this week, it looks like we're going to have kind of 1, 2, maybe 3 systems that kind of quickly swing by the area. So we'll continue to have rain through most of the week next week, or at least chances of rain through most of the week next week. So starting with our tornadoes from May 3rd and 4th, what I've got for you here is basically 2 areas of the map kind of showing you exactly where these tornadoes were. The one on the left are our tornadoes that occurred in Douglas and Fulton County. These were both rated at EF1. With the Douglas County tornado, we will say there was, of course, that really tragic fatality that did occur. We have been able to confirm that that fatality occurred away from the tornado, so it was not actually directly related to it. But did instead occur with strong winds that unfortunately brought down a tree onto a vehicle. Otherwise, we have the Fulton County tornado, which was a pretty long track, as you can see, that thankfully lifted before it made its way into some of the deeper sections of the Atlanta metro. That was also rated EF1. There was pretty considerable damage along that track to trees, as well as some damage to a couple of buildings. I know some of the worst that I've seen was a roof of a warehouse that was partially lifted by the tornado. We did give this, it was a high-end EF1 rating at the end of the day. With it, so far we've confirmed no fatalities or anything like that, though injuries that occurred with this tornado, we are still in the process of gathering that information. Otherwise, we had 3 more tornadoes that occurred towards the eastern section of at least our county warning area. I will say there was a 4th tornado that I believe GSP, the folks in Greenville, Spartanburg, have confirmed in Elberton that they are responsible for that county. So, and I believe that was a short-lived EF1 that was just, I believe, west of the city of Elberton. Otherwise, for us, we were able to confirm 2 EF0s, one in Oglethorpe and one in Walton, and then we had an EF1 that occurred there in Madison County as well. And with all of these, so far we've confirmed that there were no injuries or fatalities related to them. Beyond that, we're going to have additional surveys that are actually being conducted right now as I speak to you. We've got folks out in Banks Hall and Lumpkin County who are going to be looking for some possible tornadoes. Basically, we had some definite areas of a little bit of increased damage that we're going to go up and check out today. And those would be, though, not from May 3rd, but from the line of thunderstorms that instead moved through from May 4th. Outside of that, everything else that we've looked at or received information about so far looks like it was mostly straight line wind damage that was associated either with the thunderstorms from the 3rd or from the large line of thunderstorms that moved through, especially central Georgia on the 4th. I should say central and northeastern Georgia on the 4th. And then we had numerous reports of flash flooding around the area as we had several inches of rain that fell, especially the portions of western Georgia on May 3rd experienced upwards of 3 to, in some cases, 5 inches, 5 inches of rain in those areas just on May 3rd, and then got additional rainfall on the 4th. So we did have, unfortunately, some considerable flooding as a result of that, and we're still dealing with some river issues and some river flooding as all that water tries to route away from the area. The good news is that all of that is past us now, and the current conditions outside are frankly beautiful. This was taken, a quick little snapshot taken at 11:15 a.m. today of just basically our wind directions, our clouds, and current temps around the area. And you can see it was already getting into the 60s, and outside right now it's already getting into the 60s and 70s across at least our county warning area. Winds are from the north. We had, you probably noticed if you're out this morning, we had a little bite in the air. It was a little bit chillier than it's been. We did have a cold front that has passed through the area. You can see that down here with these clouds and kind of showers and storms down in Florida. At the moment, our cold front has pretty much passed through the entire state, thankfully. So that's giving us pretty great clear weather to work with today. It's also a great thing because later tonight we do have some rain chances that have kind of started to crop up in some of the, I'll say, some of the latest model runs and things. Some of the models are picking up on a very small area of storms, basically firing up towards Missouri, Arkansas, those areas, and then they kind of get pushed southeastward towards Georgia and our area in general. I do want to say with this, what you're seeing here is basically just a loop of potential reflectivity from just one of these models. Don't take it as truth or anything like that. It is one run of one model, and some of the models have these storms. Basically, you can tell, as you can see from this one, they're weakening pretty considerably as they move into northwest Georgia. And that seems to be the case in most of the models that do have the storms. Some models actually weaken them well before they actually get into Georgia, to the point that there's actually not much left. So I say all that to say, in northwest Georgia tonight, you could see some showers from these. You could potentially even get a couple of rumbles of thunder. We're not expecting anything to be severe or anything like that. As this pushes in, you could get some decent wind gusts out of these. However, especially as these storms start to dissipate and kind of collapse, you can get that air, that cold air from the upper parts of the atmosphere that kind of pushes down to the ground and then spreads outward really quickly. And so we can get some decent wind gusts out of things like that. So we won't rule that out. But like I said, not expecting anything severe or widespread or even really isolated with this at this time. Going into Friday, it's basically this, as this cold front kind of starts to move by, and we'll kind of be caught between two systems. And so what's going to happen is that's going to help kind of pick up our winds a little bit. And so we're going to have the potential for widespread wind gusts pretty much across the state. You can expect these to be anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. This will especially be the case as we get into the afternoon and the sun comes up, and we basically will be able to, as we say here, we'll be able to mix some of the stronger winds that'll be just above our heads down to the surface here. At this time, we haven't issued, and we're not expecting to issue any kind of wind advisory or anything like that. Though, of course, as we're not quite at criteria with this, but of course we'll keep monitoring that. If we expect them to be stronger, we'll consider that on the overnight shift. For Saturday, we have some rain chances in far north Georgia. These are just going to be basically as our next system starts to approach the area. We could see some very high rain showers and high clouds that kind of scatter over northern Georgia. These would be very light. We're not really expecting any in the way of rainfall accumulation from this. It would just be light showers, so no real chance of thunderstorms or anything like this right now. Otherwise, Saturday looks to be a beautiful day. We've got highs in the 60s, 70s, and 80s across the area. So if you got some yard work and things to get done, that might be the day if you're like me. All right, for Sunday night into Monday, this is when our next weather system is going to move into the area. Pretty much all the models that we have that go out this far are pretty consistent on this and this kind of timing of Sunday night into kind of Monday morning and Monday afternoon. This looks to be a decent rainfall event, hence why we've got pretty strong chances of rain, especially on Monday. At this time, we're not expecting this to necessarily be a widespread severe event or anything like that, especially given the timing. But we won't completely rule out that we could see isolated severe storms at this time, and we do encourage you to keep checking back with us as we get better information, because if the timing of this changes a little bit, there are a couple of things that could change that could turn this into a little bit better of a severe event. And I mean, it's May, unfortunately, in Georgia, and so it doesn't take too much to get things cooking around here. So please definitely stay tuned with us on this, but as of this time we can say we're not expecting that widespread severe. Beyond that, we'll continue to have rain chances. Like I said at the beginning of the briefing, this is going to be very similar to our system from last week, or from this, our system from this week, where we're going to essentially find ourselves in this kind of southwestern flow that will bring moisture into the area and kind of repeated rounds of rainfall chances into the area. So we've got thunderstorms and showers in the forecast for Tuesday into Tuesday night, as well as Wednesday. The exact timing of when any given impulse of rain or stuff like that, there's a lot of variety in the models right now. So definitely check back with us on that. We'll have a lot more certainty as we get a little bit closer to this, but know that unfortunately, at least for a couple of days into next week, we'll still have those rain chances around. So here's the expected rainfall from those basically across those 4 days, starting with Sunday and into Wednesday. So on the left, you've got rainfall from Sunday and Monday. Right now, we're expecting basically anywhere from, especially across western Georgia, half an inch to an inch to an inch and a quarter, and a little bit lighter as we go eastward. For Tuesday and Wednesday, for those additional rounds of rainfall, we're expecting potentially another half an inch to, once again, inch and a quarter. However, with these rainfall totals, these are just kind of our general best guesses at the time, especially when we have the potential for thunderstorms. These rainfall totals can get a lot higher in places where thunderstorms set up, and if they sit in place or if they kind of run over the same areas, we can get much higher, isolated areas of rainfall totals. So do keep that in mind when you look at this. So just to kind of wrap it up and put it all together, here's your 7-day forecast. This is kind of for northern Georgia, so our Athens, Atlanta area. Athens on the top, Atlanta on the bottom. Tonight, with our cold front having passed through, we're expecting temps to get down into the 50s, and possibly even, especially in areas further north into Georgia, we could even see some temperatures get into the upper 40s. And then tomorrow, it's looking great outside of the wind, temps in the 70s. We're going to slowly warm up into Sunday over the weekend, and then that's when we see our next chances of rain come in. And forecast looks pretty similar as you go down into central Georgia, with temps in the 50s tonight, warming up into the 70s, and then we'll get up into the 80s down there pretty quickly, with unfortunately highs potentially approaching those 90-degree temperatures by Sunday once again, as summer is just around the corner. Alright, just to sum it all up, once again, we had our 5 tornadoes that have been confirmed. We're doing surveys today. We'll have the potential for some storms or showers in parts of northwest and far north Georgia, but as of this time, we're expecting these to be weakening as they move into the area. We're not expecting anything severe, and they should dissipate pretty quickly. Showers will again be possible across far north Georgia on Saturday, but these will be very light. And then our rain and our unsettled weather returns again next week, with highest chances of rain right now Sunday and Monday, but we will continue to have chances of rain past that. With that, here's our information. If you need to contact us, if you'd like to reach out to us, I will say we do have or if you do have any additional reports or anything that you believe we are not aware of in terms of the severe weather that did happen on May 3rd or May 4th, we definitely encourage you to try and reach out to us and give us that information. We'll be more than happy to take it from you. And with that, I leave you. Have a great day, everyone.